Jim, here we go.
Good to see the cowbells back. Good to see the cowbells back. Jim Gazelle, he swears, why are you here again?
Because I'm here because of my friend, Jesse Verdreen, from the owner of Boudreaux's Pharmacy, who I don't know if you know, but actually really stepped up, put his logo on the court. And
Do I know? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so I wanted Jesse to come experience Poke Nation, or excuse me, PokeCast. Have another, and you know, when I told him, he's like, well, what is it like? What is it? I go, well,
we haven't.
You get another opportunity to sit next to Gazzola the Great, and he's like, well, how in the hell do I not do that? So here we are.
We're back at Mr.
So Jesse, welcome to
Mr. Bill's and on 92.9 The Lake, and we're back with Jesse. And when is your head going to go on the court?
I have no interest in that.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we just get a big head of you out there and say park under Heath and do the parking lot?
I don't have any interest in that.
Just do the parking lot.
As long as I can come on here once a month just to see you and have a beer, it's going to be great. It's great.
It's a great life for you, isn't it?
It's great. Yeah. What can we talk about?
Yes.
Can we talk about like
what's new besides since then?
Okay.
Even since then, all you do is keep making money.
Oh yeah. Okay. Just like I explained earlier today, it's not like you get all of it up front. It takes time and it's over years, et cetera, et cetera. But let's talk about Boudreaux's.
All right.
Okay. So Jesse, I mean, I know you were on Poke Nation, which you got the first dose of Jim Gazzola the Great. But tell me, tell PokeCast and everyone, why, right? Everyone asks, well, why? It's $1.25 million for the logo and to be a part of math, et cetera. Why?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. There's quite a bit of echo here, so please forgive me. But Kylie and I have been a part of Southwest Louisiana for the last 10 to 15 years. We raise our children here. Our kids go to school here. Our business is here. This is where our families live, and so. I'm an alumni of McNeese, and so when you think about that, it's just ultimately our part, doing our small part of giving back to the university and ultimately to the community. I talked about this the last time I talked to Jim, but we look at McNeese as an economic driver in our community in Southwest Louisiana, and so when you think about that, you want to be a part of that. That's exciting. If you look at what McNeese is doing right now, there's no way you can see that and be honest with yourself and say that's not exciting.
Right.
And so you want to be a part of that. Jim asked me the other day, what was one of the big reasons? Everybody likes a winner, right? And McNeese is winning, and that's what we're doing, especially on the basketball court. Super excited to see Bill and what he's got coming this year. I got to watch the guys practice for just a few minutes the other day, and that was exciting. So got a good-looking group of guys there, and so really looking forward to it.
One of the things you talked about, though, was, and I want to get this straight with people, the thing that happened Tuesday is a naming rights deal. Your deal is considered a sponsorship partnership deal. It's not. It's for the logo and that. But what's kind of the thing that drives a company to say, I'm going to invest in this because sports has become a bigger deal here? Right? People weren't doing that before. What kind of flipped this?
Yeah, I think when you look at sports across the nation and the changes that you've seen with NIL and other naming rights and other things like that, he's kind of been on the forefront of that, right? He's been leading the pack, being parts of task force in Baton Rouge and in other areas, kind of leading the pack. And, I was able to kind of see the future, and Heath and I have had a relationship much more longer than just this year. We've been donating to the university for the last 5 to 10 years. And so when we were talking about that, we were thinking about the potential, right, and seeing kind of not only how we could help McNeese and the athletic program and the university, donating more also to the academic side, but also, how we grow, not only in Southwest Louisiana. When you think about medication and prescriptions and healthcare, Boudreaux's should be the first name that comes out of your mouth. And that's kind of our take on things. And so we thought, what better way to do that than the university that's here locally, and that there's so much passion and support from our community for this university, and thought that was a great driver. Lots of different things, lots of different agreements there. It's important to note, there have been a lot of long-term agreements noted. Let me tell you, that money's coming out of my account tomorrow. Okay, so you talk about the type of commitments over long periods of time. We do have a 5-year agreement. But this is something where we decided to come up front and go ahead and commit all of that money this year. And so that's important to us.
And, of course, the other thing is you talked about the fact that yeah, Heath bugs you until you say yes, anyways. It's kind of
it's spoken like not a salesman.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll tell you, I've been in sales my entire life. I've sold bank loans, billboards, cars, construction, safety, plate lunches, anything you name it, I've sold it. And so, when you talk about Heath, he's helping the community. He's helping people. They joke all the time in sales, stop selling and start helping. What Heath is doing here for this university and the community, he's helping. He's helping grow our community since Laura. That's been instrumental in our growth and our comeback.
Yeah, I've actually given him credit for that, but I don't like to give him too much credit.
That's right.
It goes
That's
to
right.
his head.
Here's the other thing too, Jim, and I think this is important for people to know. But when Jesse and Kylie decided to do this corporate sponsorship, it wasn't just to basketball, right? That's a huge misconception. It is to the McNeese Athletic Foundation to help all the sports. But he wanted to have the visibility at basketball,
Sure.
So I think that's a big misconception. Oh, you're going to give all that money to basketball. That's not true. The big thing is it goes to math, and then McNeese Athletic Foundation helps all the sports. So I think that's a really big thing for people to understand. And the great thing is Jesse, and I mean, there's other businesses out there and all of them that give. And I say the same thing, right? If you want it started honestly, and I said this at the press conference Tuesday. It started with a plan with Dr. Roos and I. Okay, we got 14 straight years of declining enrollment. Okay, we have a $3 million deficit. Our football program's on probation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What are we going to do, right? We just can't continue to do what we've always done and, go out and sell chili dogs and all that. It's not going to work, right?
Let's hope for the best.
That's right. So, and hope isn't a strategy.
Hope's
right?
not a strategy.
So we said, okay, if we can strategically invest in athletics, it can raise the profile academically, enhance the brand, and if you do those two things, it elevates your entire community. When I sat down with Jesse and I talked about that, it made sense, right? Because he lives here, he's from here. How do we do that? Well, I mean, listen, we're in Southwest Louisiana. Athletics at McNeese is pretty important, and if we do it and we raise that profile, it helps academically, raises the brand, and obviously, if the brand is raised, then look what's happening with enrollment and everything else, and economically, it's a huge deal for this community.
Yeah, Jesse, you guys are in the middle of the 11 point something $1 million kind of summer of Heath, I call it. It kind of changed all this. But what does it say that you see other businesses, local businesses especially, coming in front of you, behind you, and kind of joining in it? Does it make you feel better about the investment, one? And two, does it make you kind of feel even better about the future?
The future is clear. It's a future of success and growth at McNeese. But certainly, to your point about other businesses, I think that's a responsibility when you talk about running and owning a locally owned business that's operating on a national scale. We have a responsibility to the people that live here, and so I think you're seeing that from what Ryan and what Townsley did, and a lot of there's a lot of other donors that you never see, you never hear of, and so yes, it's instrumental. To what we do as a university. Obviously, the athletics take center stage, but we're a university ultimately, and so that's what's really important.
And you said you do a lot of other things at the university, not just athletics. Obviously, athletics gets a lot of at least the headlines. But what are some of the other things you kind of are interested in at the school?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is the School of Business, right? You talk about supporting with new programs, learning how to invest in the young people that are going to school here to give them better classes, better coaching, having different people come in and allowing them to be able to compete on a national stage, not just in Southwest Louisiana. You look at what's going on right now, I think we have $35 billion in new construction projects happening right now in Southwest Louisiana. Those people need high quality, sophisticated individuals that are coming out of college, and I think that's one of the things that I'm passionate about is business, and so when you look at that, if we can support that in any manner, whether it's speaking events, coaching, training, being parts of classes, donating, developing MBA programs. We had a great conversation and a great dinner with Dr. Roos and Heath the other night, and we were basically strategizing on how we grow the university. And specifically for me, I think the business department for me is really something that's important to where, Kylie and I are discussing opportunity to create a scholarship there at the university from a business standpoint. So, a lot of things that we're working on and something that I'm certainly passionate about.
Okay, so let's talk about this too, because I've said this to a lot of people, and they're like, "Really? Like you guys just aren't you just mentioned it, but you're in 43 different states, right? Tell me, or maybe more now.
44.
44 now. But
Just got it today.
But the quote unquote what you're doing at Boudreaux's isn't like going to CVS and getting a prescription for an antibiotic, right?
Yeah, it's vastly different. So certainly we have a retail aspect.
Sure.
When Kylie and I took over the business, it was pretty heavy in retail. What Kylie and I didn't know when we took over Boudreaux's 100-year-old compounding pharmacy is what we were really purchasing was a pillar of the healthcare community, not only in Southwest Louisiana but across the nation. And the reason I say that is previous owners developed healthcare products, medications, proprietary, that are being sold across the country. But at the time, our pharmacy was only licensed in the state of Louisiana. And so specifically with the surge of GLP-1s and other products and then peptides coming out, it made the right time for us to expand nationwide. And that's something that we're really excited to talk about. We got to scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so, it's super exciting. And so now, we've right now, I think the count is 38 states that we've shipped drugs to. We have business a lot on the East Coast, a lot in the central part of the U.S. and in the South, working our way west, getting there. But, what we do on a day-to-day basis is essentially produce patient-specific medication that doesn't involve insurance companies. And I think anytime you can not involve an insurance company in your health care, I think it's a win.
Yeah.
So a pretty special thing that we're working on right now. Lots of different areas of medicine, though, and I think that may be something that not a lot of people locally understand about us. Yes, GLP-1s is kind of the thing that has taken over our entire country. I joke all the time. There's only two things in the U.S. right now more in demand than GLP-1s: iPhones and water. And
100%.
so
100%.
That's right. And so we do a lot of other things. You talk about BHRT, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, for men and women that are experiencing menopause or andropause. These are things that we are specialists in, not just regionally across the nation.
That's what I'm saying.
It's incredible. And so you've got new therapies coming out constantly. We're truly on the cutting edge of medicine, and that's something that we're super excited about. And I know we're kind of up against the time here, but I would be remiss to say, you look at what we're doing right there on Prion Lake Road. Our building's getting smaller by the day. I think we got 73 employees in there now.
I was in there the other day. Yeah,
but the fact is we just invested $3 million into new laboratory, state-of-the-art Colonor vial filling machines, and so a real operation there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. So, go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, one thing I wanted to ask Keith about is a lot of people have asked me, it's not, Joe Dumar's Court is not being renamed.
No, it's still
But
Joe
I want people to
Dumar's Court.
understand
Yeah,
that.
100%.
It's basically an advertisement relationship,
Absolutely.
sponsorship
100%.
that will go alongside the naming of
That's
Dumar's.
exactly right. But the neat thing, I'm just telling you, and Jesse's really humble, but he's got a national sales director, right? They are. So if the people in this community, they're shipping drugs to 30-some states. If you because of his willingness to help local needs to help him. You know what I mean? I'm telling you that you got there are doors that can be opened by going into Boudreaux's that aren't going to be at CVS or Walgreens or any of that kind of stuff. I'm just he is on the cutting edge of healthcare, and it's really, really cool that it literally is on Preen Lake. It's unbelievable.
It really is. You people ask how many pharmacies out there are doing what you're doing. There's got to be a lot of them. When Kylie and I bought the pharmacy in 2020, there were, I believe, 18 pharmacies in the entire nation that produced sterile products and had a sterile laboratory. Now, since the resurgence of the surge of GLP-1s, there's still only about 28, right? And these are the biggest pharmacies in the entire nation. Empower in Houston, they made $1 billion last year. Those are the type of companies that we're competing with, and there's not many of us. So we're in a unique position now. But you talk about the community, helping the community. I will say this one thing: Southwest Louisiana has been great to us. And I feel like we've been great back to them. Really briefly here, we talk about the hurricane. You can't not talk about it. I'll never forget, we were the first pharmacy that reopened after Hurricane Laura. We had a generator going. The National Guard was out front, and Kylie, my beautiful wife, was 7 months pregnant, filling prescriptions with a line of people out the door. Yep. And you know what? We were proud to do it.
That's right.
We were proud to do it, and that's really our commitment to the community.
How much more can you guys do with all that, with the court, with everything else? And
you're allowed two. You're allowed 2 logos. You're allowed 2 logos
on the floor.
On the floor, and Jesse and Boudreaux's wanted both of them, so he got them both, which is great. I mean, and it's really. I mean, it's a really It's a cool story. It doesn't get enough publicity. People really don't know what they're doing over there, but it is absolutely phenomenal. And
it kind of mirrors the McNeese comeback.
We said that at dinner. It really is. I mean, literally. When we were at dinner, I know I don't ever take you to dinner, but I will buy you a beer. But the great thing is seriously that 3 years ago probably, Jesse was bringing prescriptions to Hunter, who's here, to our training room. Like, that was the first contract we ever signed with Jesse. Literally, was $10,000, and it's just elevated and elevated and elevated, and here we are. And they've been great partners, and it's an honor to have them here.
We got to get our players on peptides. I know it's so illegal right now. It's so illegal right now, but we will. Things are going to change, and we're going to make our players bigger, faster, stronger, healthier.
Okay. I don't want to know about all that stuff.
Why wouldn't you? Who doesn't want to be bigger, faster, stronger, and healthier? Come on, man. We can all be a little healthier.
Yeah, but that leads to some sports questions.
Okay. All right. I got you.
When we come back, we're going to talk about homecoming on the PokeCast. We're back from Mr. Bill's at 92.9 FM The Lake at PokeCast. Justin Hill is in the house watching a former McNeese pitcher right now on the mound for Milwaukee, Grant Anderson. So if you want to look up real quick, Milwaukee's down, I think, 4-2 to the Cubs. And as a White Sox fan, go Brewers. That's all I'll say. Right now, Dr. Megan Olinger, right?
Yes.
Olinger is with us. She's the Dean of Student Support. I know you've got a lot of other titles.
And advocacy.
And
but
advocacy.
Dean of Students is fine.
If you were working for Schroyer, you're going to have like 19 or 20
extra
titles before after when it's all said and done. We're going to talk homecoming right now.
Absolutely.
First of all, when does homecoming start?
It starts on Monday, October 13th. So Get ready. Our first event is the theme is Rowdy Ever After. So think fairy tales. Think Shrek when you think about Oozeball for my Shrek fans in the room. But it will start on Monday. We're calling it the start of the story. It's on October 13th from 4 to 6 in the quad. If you're following us on social media, you might see critters. You might want to know what that is. We're not going to tell you what that is because we want you to come to the quad on Monday and hang out with us and see what a critter is. We'll have princesses jousting, a lot of fun, food. So again, fairy tale. We want you to be there.
So I got a picture here. We're not going to show this to the camera, but that's. I said that was Rowdy the other day, looking a little Halloween scary. I just want to point out.
He does look a little Halloween
So we don't
scary.
want him to scare little kids.
No,
just
we
so
don't.
know.
We don't.
All right.
We don't.
All right. So everything happens quickly at homecoming week.
Yes, it does.
What kind of crowds are you expecting, and how does the week kind of go through? I know one of the things everybody talks about is the mud event.
Yes, so I want to see huge crowds all week long. So we want to see community, we want to see students, we want to see faculty and staff, we want to see everybody. But you mentioned the mud event. That's Oozeball. We're calling it the Enchanted Swamp this year, and I'm glad you brought it up because if you hung out with us at homecoming last year, you may or may not have heard that we had a faculty and staff exhibition game that's kicked off Oozeball, and we are doing it again this year. It's student affairs against academic affairs. I'm not saying student affairs are undefeated champions, but we're currently undefeated champions. Academic
Is it
affairs.
rigged?
It's not rigged.
Okay.
It's not rigged. I mean, Dr. Roos was our referee last year, but no, it's not rigged.
Well, so there's some rumors there was some rigging going on.
I mean, we're student affairs. We get active. Academics, they're
I got you.
not as active. I don't know.
I can understand that.
I hope they trained up. They had a whole year. They had a whole year to train up, but we're ready too. We're ready. 1:00. We also moved Oozeball, so anybody who's used to Oozeball traditionally being out there right off Orion Street, we've moved it to where the old bookstore was. It's been torn down, so it's right there in front of the new ranch. There's some grassy area there. That is going to be the new Oozeball court. So we hope you come out. We hope you watch us. Like I said, 1:00. Faculty and staff will take each other on, and then the actual tournament for our students starts at 2:00.
Now, 2 years ago, homecoming got canceled.
Did it?
And
It does before my time.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Last year what was it like last year? Was there any talk of a bounce back or anything, or did you get a good following?
So I think, last year was my first year at McNeese, and I had a blast at homecoming. I loved the parade. I love seeing the excitement and the energy of campus. I love seeing the support that we got from the community. And so if we can carry that momentum forward and keep seeing more support from the community and from our students and our academic departments, I think it just is a beautiful thing. I mean, we talk about McNeese being a family, and it truly is a family environment, and I love the Lake Charles community supporting what we do on campus and supporting homecoming, and so I'd love to see that momentum continue.
What's the big thing for the parade?
So the big thing is it's not too late to register as a parade participant, so if we've got any businesses or any organization out there that wants to participate in the parade, you can still sign up for the parade up until Friday. We want you out there. We're really excited to showcase Homecoming Court. They'll be excited. They'll be on a new float this year. We've invited in our entire SGA will be on a float. Student Life Coalition will be on a float. In case you didn't know, we brought back an old McNeese tradition that kind of faded out in the 90s. We had a Miss McNeese LaBelle. And so we've brought that title holder back to campus. She will be in the parade along with our team title holder, and we also have a Mr. title holder, and they'll be a part of the parade proceedings as well. So we're really, really excited about it.
What are some other things you do to get students on campus? Because a lot of talk always around here is getting more and more students involved. What are some of the things you do on campus to do that for the week?
So we spend a lot of time social media is the way to connect with our students these days. So we spend a lot of time on social media, posting flyers. We've been sharing it with SGA meetings, sending lots of emails for our faculty and staff. They love an email. Our students, they don't read them so much. So we have to rely on that social media. But we're also out there tabling and in the new ranch, passing out flyers. We have these really, you can't see them if you're listening on the radio, but we have these really great flyers that have the whole schedule that we are.
Well, this is also on TV.
Oh, well, then look at it. So we have these flyers that we're passing out and putting it literally in the hands of students so that they can't say, I don't know. We physically are placing it in your hand. You do know. So that's wonderful. And we just, or word of mouth is a huge, huge tool too. And things like this. So.
We have a question for you.
A question from somebody in the audience.
Oh, wonderful.
Want to know, what are you doing to get students to the student section?
We're trying. We are trying. So we're encouraging them to be out there. We talk to them all the time. We're pushing them. We would love for you all to help us do that too. It is a challenge. So if we have students out there listening, your athletic teams, your community wants you there, and so we want you there. So we're pushing you. So we are doing the best we can to get them out there. We're pushing it. We're talking about it all the time. It's hard to get them out that tailgate though. Sometimes it's a little hard to get them out that tailgate.
And what about for basketball? Can you get them out for basketball?
We have been hanging out and talking with basketball. We've got some stuff in the works that we've got some new ideas that we're pitching across the office, and we've been working really hard with our director of student engagement and our director of student activities, and we've got some ideas, and we may or may not be pitching an idea of a basketball-specific pep rally to kind of kick off the season and help get basketball for both men and women's basketball. So we're pitching some ideas and really kind of looking to get them engaged. And we have some really cool student engagement nights planned at basketball games.
Yeah, our coaches need help.
But
It's got to throw out digs at everybody.
Okay.
Where can students find that? Is there some place they can find those?
So yes, on Instagram you can follow the McNeese Student Life page. Every event, every activity that we're doing is posted on that page, and you can absolutely follow us there.
And what's the concert?
The block party is done by the Alumni Association, and it is La Roche is the band that year. Not this Friday.
LA Rocks.
LA Rocks. Sorry, yes. LA Rocks. It's next Friday at 7.
That's a shorter baby.
Sorry.
Kind of. Don't worry about him.
Sorry.
He's overrated anyway.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, he's overrated. Don't worry about him. So what do you want to see most next week?
What do I want to see
Besides
most?
kids coming out, what do you want to see?
I want to see a lot of community engagement at the parade and a lot of community.
Not just students.
Not just students, no. I want to see a lot of community engagement at the parade, and I'd love to see a lot of our community come out to the pep rally as well. A lot of times we have our students come out to the pep rally after the parade, but kind of we lose a little bit of community engagement at that point. But that's for the community as well. We want to see you there. There's a fireworks show at the pep rally, so if you love fireworks, we want to see you there too.
And that all starts Monday at homecoming. I want to remind you, even though there's no football this week, the homecoming game in next week will be Houston Christian. Also this week, volleyball plays tomorrow night against Lamar at 6:30, then Saturday against SFA at 1, soccer at 7 o'clock tomorrow night against UTRGV, and then Sunday at 1 against Lamar. When we come back, we're going to actually talk softball and then baseball. We're back on 92.9 The Lake and across the street from campus at Mr. Bill's. James Landrino is our guest now. Softball, is it softball season?
Always softball season.
Always softball season?
Always softball. Yep, absolutely.
Really?
Isn't it?
Okay. So how many practices have you already gotten in? Do you get them up at like early in the morning?
What's that?
Do you get them up early in the morning and work them out? Do you do the whole
What's early? It's really
the whole
relative.
weightlifting in the morning stuff?
It's probably early for you, but for us, it's normal 6.
It is pretty early. Anything's early for me.
Yeah, anything before noon, I'm sure it's early for you.
I can't lie. That's true.
Yeah,
So, you play Friday. Who do you play Friday?
Lamar.
So you play
Conference.
Lamar on Friday.
Yep, 10 innings.
So is it weird playing a conference team on?
Nah, it's good. I mean, it's good for us to get an opportunity to play a Division I opponent, kind of see where our team is, the pace, the system. It's just good for softball. I mean, look, you're gonna play them 3 times. You may play them 5 if you get them in the regular season. If you get them in the tournament, I don't think it's an advantage for either team. You know, it's just a great opportunity to play. You know, it's always hard to find good fall competition, and I think it's important too. So it's good that we have that relationship, that we're not scared to play each other.
How much are you allowed to play in the fall?
We get 8. We're a little bit. We're fortunate. We get 8 competitions outside of practice. So,
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, baseball. I think Justin only gets 2. So we feel very fortunate that our Division I softball lets us play 8.
So why is that?
Why? Oh shit. I don't know that question. I mean, guys, thank you, man. I don't. They voted on that years way before I came into play. So,
All right,
I
so
just like it. I like it.
Last time we saw you was in the tournament here.
Yeah.
You had a very young team.
Okay.
What's been the off season like, and how much growth have you had, and how much porthole shopping did you do?
I mean, I think we do like everyone else, man. You're always evaluating players to come in and see if they're a good fit and see where you have some needs at. We're fortunate to pick up about 3 players that come in, and I think they'll help us this year. It's good to see. They made a great transition. It's a great fit. So I think our coaches, and we did a great job evaluating to see if they'd be a right fit for our program, and they are. Just the maturity of the team has been really nice to see. You know, last year we went into a season, I guess we went into fall camp, you only had 3 players that had Division I starts on a consistent basis. So you knew there was going to be a lot of patience. Right now, what you're doing is you were working on a little bit more advanced stuff that we didn't maybe get to till January now. So I just think the overall team has been in a much better situation than we have been in the past for us. Just everybody understands the drills, simple things. And then I'm very fortunate to have a great coaching staff that really understands what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. Having so many people that have played in the program, and then, bringing Hope Troutwine's the only person that came in that's outside our program, but you could swear she's been in the program the whole time. Just the fit, the enthusiasm she has with our kids. It's just been a great transition for us right now.
And last time we talked, it was all about pitching. Trying to get some depth at pitching, trying to get more numbers on the pitching. Do you think you accomplished that? And how much are you doing with what you went out and got? And how much were you trying to kind of develop?
It's a very valid question. I mean, I think time will tell. That we'll sit here in May and June and see if we did a good job or not. I like where our pitching staff is. I'll give you a small sample size of why I feel like we're heading in the right direction. Played 10 innings against a Northeast Alabama team last week. In those 10 innings, no runs, 1 walk and 10 innings of work, only 115 pitches. I think that was the big thing. 115 pitches. So Hope has done a great job of getting our pitchers to be aggressive inside the strike zone. 9 out of the 10 innings were 3 up, 3 down. We only faced 3 hitters. I think that was efficient. That's the same team that turned around the next day and went out and beat Louisiana Tech. So it wasn't like it's a team that had no credibility. It played a Mississippi State to a 2-0 game. So I felt like our pitching staff did an exceptional job of having poise and command in the zone. So I was excited with them. Now, look, it's early. It's one day at a time, and we got to stay focused on what the process is, and we're a long ways from getting where we need to be.
But you also bring back a lot of kids that played last year.
Yeah.
Your third baseman had a breakout year last year in that. You're always looking for that. How much do you see in the fall that carries over to the spring? Is there much?
No, what you see, I think, is you implement everything in the fall, see if they handle it. Usually when you come back in the spring, that there's a big growth process. So that's what you hope for. The we try to make the fall as chaotic as possible, as stressful as possible, to see how those players handle some time and attention. And if we can handle that, then the game starts to slow down for them a little bit when we come back in January. So that's what we hope to see. We hope to see that progress. But we also got to make sure that we don't get very content. We don't think it's going to be good. You have to earn it every day. And I think that's the biggest message to our kids. It doesn't matter if we had a good day. Do you have the ability to stack good days on top of another? Do you realize just because something good happened yesterday doesn't guarantee it today? You have to go out, work, and earn it all over again. And that's been the message for the fall camp.
Did you lose anybody in particular to the portal?
I mean, I don't know if we lost them to the portal itself. We lost a kid or two just because of some family stuff and some things of that nature that they did go into the portal. But other than that, I mean, I'm really excited about the team that we have here. At the end of the day, we have some players that really want to be in our program. They're excited to be in our program. They love the community. They love represent McNeese. And that's where our focus is always going to be, on the kids that want to be here and the kids that are doing the right thing. We have a talented group of young players that enjoy being here, and they play with great passion and pride because they really, the one thing we could say is when they come to McNeese, it's more than, I think a lot of people say play for something bigger than yourself, and I think sometimes that gets lost. I think the biggest difference when you play here, you're going to know your fan base by name, and that means something to them. When you go to the grocery store, people are going to know who you are. They don't just know that you're a softball player, they actually know your name. And that's what we talk about when they come here to play. And that's why I think we're able to get talented players. They're excited to play in this community, and more importantly, they're excited to stay here.
Last year, you won your third straight regular season title.
That's not true.
The second?
That was the fourth.
Well, all right.
Gosh, dang,
So now you're going for your fifth.
We are.
But this has a lot of kids that are the same, but they're a year older. This is a more mature group than you started with last year.
Correct.
What's the difference between this fall and the young group you had last fall, and how much more can you develop them because of that? You don't have to go back to the basics as much.
Yeah, I think you understand what it takes, and you understand. I think right now there's a hunger. There's some. We didn't get to the NCAA tournament at the end of the day. We didn't make it. We had an out to get, and we didn't get it. And so we have to evaluate why didn't we get it. And I think that's what you see a little bit. It's probably since I've been coaching, it's the most dedicated group of young people I've ever seen. And so it brings the best out in you. It brings the best out in all your coaching staff. And look, 2 weeks before we were supposed to report, I show up to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's 14 kids on the field practicing. This is an off season. That tells you what the hunger and dedication is, and so that shows you the maturity. Like the maturity is, hey, if we do exactly what we did in the past, we can end up in the same spot. We want more. So therefore, if you want more, you have to do more. And I think that's the message that they're relaying to the young kids right off the bat. We can't do what we've done in the past. We have to do more if we expect to get more than we have.
It was a very strange ending last year to the season.
Yeah.
Do you go over that much in your thoughts, or
No, I move on.
have you kind
now.
of learned to move on?
I move on. Look, we've been in some tough situations, and the only thing you could do from the past is learn from your mistakes and move on, and we have to do it. We can't play the what-if game. We can't change what's happened in the past. We can learn the lesson. And if we learn the lesson and move on, then it was worth going through the experience to make you better for the future. And that's where our mindset is. Like, I don't sit there and dwell on things that have happened in the past. I don't care what people have said. I don't care what people say in general, to be honest with you. It's what do we have to do for our team to help our team play better than we've done before and put them in the best situation possible to be successful. And that's where our mindset is. So me living in the past or feeling sorry for ourselves for something that's happened last year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, does us no good for the group that's in front of us now.
What do you think the kids take out of it? Because it was a great run up to then.
Yeah.
And it was a surprising run to some extent because of the youth. What do you think that takes out moving ahead?
Yeah, I think what we try to do with the program is what we do what we call an after-action report, right? What was good? What wasn't good? How can we make it better? And I think there was some valuable experience. You know, we were very inconsistent last year, and so we evaluated why were we inconsistent. Well, practices was maybe a little inconsistent. So we kind of attacked those things in those natures. So we didn't finish good. So like right now, it's kind of like we did a bad job, good of getting up last year, a bad job of just finishing the game off. And held on to win a lot, obviously with 41 wins, but we held on to them. We didn't actually just go out there and dominate and finish. And I think that's right now, you're seeing that in the weight room. You're seeing that in practice, making sure that we win the second half of practice, making sure we, it's going to be our focus as a team this week as we move on to play Lamar. It's like, it's not so much, yes, can we get ahead, but can we finish and win the last 5 innings? Can we win the last 3 innings and play with that kind of intensity? So I think a lot of times when you get up, you just assume, just like you had success before, it continues to happen. What we want to do is make sure that we understand we have to go out and earn it again and again and again, one pitch at a time.
And how do you work fall ball? How many kids do you play? You play everybody, but how do you do it? How do you work them?
That's a good question. It's going to vary week to week. There's some kids that we want to see in some certain positions and see in some stressful situations to see how they handle it, if they're going to be ready to contribute in spring, and just for them to get the experience so they understand. Obviously, with our seniors, most of them, we've seen them play enough to where we don't have to put them out there for excessive amount of innings. But we also do have a few seniors that are fighting for a spot. So there's an open game, but they're getting out there and competing. So it's going to vary week to week. Do we play everybody? Yes. In the fall, we do. When it comes to games, not everyone's going to get equal playing time. That's earned. I think we're out of it. It's not rec league. You have to go out and earn it during practice, and you're going to get your opportunities during practice to be able to make sure you get some innings in games. But, yeah, with 10 innings, I mean, I think last week we threw 6 pitchers and probably played 23, 24 of the 27 players.
Any big surprises we can look for if we go Friday?
Big surprises. I don't know if there's anybody that surprised me. We have some freshmen that I think are playing well. I think Lily Solis is a kid that's going to contribute for us. She's doing well, as well as Daigle has come in, and she's doing really well for us. Great eye at the plate. But we expected those kids to come in and play. They had great high school campaigns. Cassidy Securo is playing. She's playing out of control right now at second base. So she could catch and receive well. She has good arm action. She's playing the game at a high level, so it's good to see that. The transfer. I think the biggest thing is, the Riley Cloud coming in and Maddie Weeks have just really fit in. They feel like they've been there the entire time. They feel like they've been there for 4 years, and so they've been great fits. And I think they'll contribute. I love our offensive lineup. I think Coach Hope's going to do a great job with our pitching. I think you're going to see a little bit different from us. I'm going to have to manage it more like Coach Hill. Coach Hill likes to make a lot of changes and a lot of matchups, and I'm going to have to sit down and pick his brain a little bit and see if we could kind of match that up. But I think you might come out to the park and wouldn't be surprised to see full arms go in almost every game, because I like the way they're competing, and there's a lot of diversity within that staff.
What time do you play on Friday?
We're going to play at 6 o'clock, 10 innings. You coming out?
I don't know. You can't do that to me.
Why?
It's my weekend off. It's a bye week. It's a weekend off.
You're a sports writer, man. Y'all get mornings off. You get every single morning off.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Justin Hill about baseball after this. We're back for the final segment on PokeCast at Mr. Bill's on a 92.9. Don't forget, after this show, keep listening to Chasten talk prep football over from Walk-Ons as he does his weekly show. And right now we got Justin Hill, McNeese baseball coach, and you're doing the same exact thing in the fall, but baseball's a little different. How does baseball differ from softball, do you think? Because you're protecting a lot of arms always, it seems.
Yeah, I don't know what James does over there, but he does it well. That's for sure, and everything. But we've got a lot more arms. We got 20 arms on the roster, and one of the things that you find out is you don't know, where the guys have pitched, how much they've pitched, and you've got to take a long time to get those guys built up. And but it's a fun process. We're 2 inter squads in, and we get to play a fall game this week, so it'll be fun.
Play Eunice this weekend.
That's right.
When do you play them?
We play them on Friday at 1 o'clock. So right after you get at our place, and you go see James at 6. So.
Oh, brother. Nobody lets me rest. Nobody lets me rest.
No.
One of the things, you got 22 newcomers.
That's right.
Now, that's the norm now in baseball. It's the norm in all of college sports, but it's really the norm in baseball. But developing that and learning, you've got to learn a lot of things about arms that you didn't know. How do you go about doing that, and how much trust you got to put in that the kid's telling you the right things?
Well, the first thing is I think recognizing it first and knowing that, hey, I don't have as much time as we had in the past. You would have a player and you would hope to have him for 3-4 years, junior college for 2 years, but the reality of it is you've got a kid for 9 or 10 months, and when you look at it that way, you can start to develop the relationships a little bit differently. So you've got to kind of a microwave a little bit. You have to put an emphasis on, hey, I've got to maximize every opportunity that I have. So we just try to have no wasted time. And the best you can do is take away some of the fluff and different things that you've done in the past and slow play things. But you got to maximize every opportunity that you have.
What does it mean for the program to be able to walk into a bar, see Grant Anderson pitching in an NLDS game? What kind of pride does that give you? But also, what does that mean for the program?
It reminds me, first of all, it's really unexplainable to the fact of a kid who had a 11.5 ERA his freshman year, who just didn't quit. He wasn't afraid of the strike zone. He wasn't afraid to try stuff. That put his trust in you, and again, he got there because of who he is, and we were part of his journey, and man, it's unexplainable in how to do it. It's just hard to articulate that, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that.
It's also a good selling point for you.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Not a bad recruiting selling point.
No, I mean, the fact that, I know Aaron's done a great job with our social media, and there's been a lot of growth with everything that's happened on every platform that we've had. There's one for everybody: Instagram, Twitter, X, and Facebook. And so, I mean, if you've got anything, if you've got a phone, he's going to be able to reach you on that. So, it's incredible that, just what he's done. And, it gets our name out there, and it's big. But it goes back to show you, we're nothing in university, athletics, academics, whatever, anything, without the student. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here for the student athlete, and we're for the students, and that's why we all have jobs.
So now you're going to rebuild a team basically every year in baseball and do it quick, and then have to redo it again the next year. You don't really have much time. How do you go about that, doing that, and fixing a lineup, finding out what guys can do, and that? How much now is the fall more important than it used to be?
No, you make a great point there. I think we have a little bit of a built-in advantage. The fact that been here a while. That there's a level of expectation of, hey, how do you do things? What do you do? So it's not like you're starting from year one. People have they have a thought of who you are and what you're going to do. So you walk in with a little bit of credibility, but you can't just lean on that. You got to get in there and get to work and get to know them, because the championships you won in the past don't mean anything to the 22 new guys. They want to win one this year, and so you want to just pour in and let everybody know what it is and what you're doing. But clearly explain what you're doing, and just get after it and spend as much time with it as you can.
You get to see Eunice, who's a very good junior college team, maybe one of the best in the country. But also, there's also some opportunity to scout a little bit of the Eunice kids. Do you do that and without doing it?
Oh, no, we absolutely do it. So we've actually got a commitment that's on their team, and we can't tell you who it is, but, I mean, we can say we've got a commitment. And we're gonna face off on that, and they get a chance to see who we are, what we're about, and it's a big deal because Jeff Willis, the head coach there. I don't know how many games he's won, but I mean he's lost. It feels like less than 10 since he's been there. So I mean he's got national championships. I mean he's going to play right. I mean he's just got so much respect for what he's done. I know he's had Division I opportunities, but the fact that he enjoys that, and I've got a lot of respect for what they do, and so it's a great opportunity to be able to play them. We've played them probably 3 or 4 times since the fall games have started.
How much of your lineup do you think is even set by now, as far as not that, but position guys that are coming back to say, I'm kind of locked in that position?
I think you probably have some guys that you anticipate playing. I think you'll see Larry Edwards. We would anticipate a healthy Larry Edwards and what he's going to do, that he's going to be in the lineup every day. We feel like the same thing for Easton Dow. We feel like the same thing for Marcus Hewson. Everybody else, I mean, whether they played every day, I wouldn't say everybody was everyday players at that point last year, but they know there's some urgency there. You could see that with the players, and they know it's competitive. And our guys that are, Coach Durham and Coach Woods and Coach McLemore, they did a great job of increasing the depth that we have. And so there's a lot of competition. Nobody really takes a day off on the position player side. So they realize that, 20 guys is not going to be. You can only put 9 in the lineup one day.
As far as arms go, you got 20 arms. You said.
Yep.
A couple of years ago, you didn't have any lefties.
Sure.
Then you had a bunch of lefties. How are you set on left-handers?
We have some left-handers. The one. I mean, it's important to say this. Alexa Gravel. He had a chance to go draft-wise. He had gotten injured toward the back half of the year, and he missed the last 3 weeks. And he tried to come back. Ended up finding out he had torn his ligament, and so he had the Tommy John surgery. So he's technically on the roster, but he won't be with us this year. So we actually have. And this is the kind of weird part about it now. We try to stay loyal. We do the best we can to stay loyal to our players. So we've got 3 guys that are pitchers for us this year that won't even play. I mean, just they got hurt either before they got here, or and it's kind of a tough deal. So we've got 20 on the roster, but we don't have to. We've got like 15 healthy right now. That's just kind of where we are. So I think what you see this fall isn't necessarily what you're going to see in the spring.
And you never have enough arms.
Not enough good ones.
So I want to know, what did you learn last year about the league? Because it was your first time through this now extended league and how they're playing the back end, and now we're committed to the different format. So you guys actually don't have much time early in the year to play games that are non-conference. You jump into the conference right away. What did you kind of learn about setting that up?
Well, you don't have time. I mean, you've got to figure out some things as you go. You're not going to have everything set by weekend 3, which is when we start conference play. So it's a little unique there. But here's what I know. It's an extremely competitive league. It doesn't matter if it's the last place team. It doesn't matter if it's the first place team. You may sweep a team, but you may only score 5 more runs than them in 3 games. And so it's an extremely, extremely competitive league. This thing is not necessarily decided by games. It's decided by runs. And I'm going to say that there's 3 teams, 3 additional teams in our conference that are extremely, extremely committed financially, and what they do, committed, with in our league and what they're doing with Southeastern, with Lamar and RGV. They're all in, and that's kind of their sport and what they do. And I think we've done a good job of being extremely competitive with them, and not just that, but competing with them for championships. So obviously there's others that go along with that, but the conversation starts with those 3 guys.
The Rio Grande Valley thing, how real was that last year, and what kind of an experience was that to see them in, but the way their community took to baseball?
Let me tell you what we need to do is Jim, you need to come on the trip with us, and I mean that because it was awesome. If you're a competitor, you want to play in that atmosphere. There's so many people, they're yelling at you. You have no idea what they're saying. There's dogs, people holding up dogs like the Lion King. I mean, there's so much stuff that's going. It was Bark in the Park. I have no idea if they had enough of those bags to pick up the stuff. That was terrible. But everything else, they had Lucha Libre night. So, I mean, half the people are wearing masks. I've never been so nervous in my life at that part of it. But it was great. I mean, it was so much like it's got a buzz. It's got a postseason feel. So when I tell you should go, I mean it. You should jump on a plane. We're not taking a plane, but you and the boys jump on a plane and go. And it's fun. I'm telling you, it's a great place to play baseball.
But what has that done to the league? Because they have a commitment down there for baseball we haven't seen anybody jump into the league and do that.
It's real. It's real. I mean, it's extremely competitive. I mean, they come in the first year in the league and they win it. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know that they're in it. Again, fan base and everything, it's set up for that. I don't know what they're doing. Obviously, first year of football. I know Coach Wade had talked about their commitment that they're doing from a basketball standpoint. I think they're just kind of the tip of the iceberg. They're just a little bit ahead from a baseball standpoint just because of the culture and the notoriety that they have down there.
So what do you want to see that you have this game and then you have Lamar at the end, right?
That's right. We do.
You only get 2. Would you like to see more games?
I'll take what I can get right now. There's no complaining around here. Like, I want to see our guys compete. They've competed against each other again. We got a lot of new faces. We've got a lot of guys that have come back, but they're different. They're in leadership roles. They want a little more opportunity. I just want to start to see how this group of 40 players becomes one team. Like just starting the process of that. I've seen that. They've been great. I enjoy the workouts. I enjoy everything we've been doing. But hey, at some point, we have to make decisions. And, again, I love this time of year. I love the opportunity to get better, the process of everything that we do. But, yeah, at some point you got to make a lineup out, and we'll get to see somebody else on the other side this week.
You ever talk to Connor Westenberg about what he did afterwards?
Connor's not much of a talker. That's not really his thing. No, I mean, excited for him. He's going to be coming in and pick up his Gold Glove, and I think he was into the statistical champion for triples per game. I mean, just what a great story of a guy who didn't hit a ball at the infield for 2 years. 2 years. And all of a sudden, he's the Gold Glove recipient. The guy's got a chance to play in the big leagues, a professional baseball player. So many really cool things that happen with that. So I'm excited for him and his opportunity, his future. Guy graduated. You wouldn't think, but he's a genius. Got a GPA because he acted like an idiot on the field. And I would tell him that to his face. But he's awesome.
He would admit it, actually.
He absolutely. Well, you couldn't put him on here. You don't have the time delay for the curse words, and because he just. Man, he was great, and I miss him. So I miss him.
But baseball seems to have those stories, more so than other sports. Kids that have struggles early but can turn it around. Is that the beauty of the sport?
There's so much. I'm partial, but it's the best game. I mean, like for me, and I think there's so many things that come along with that, and I love the sports and different things they have. I mean, I'm a fan of all the other sports, but this one's just a little bit different. And I love the personal side of it. I love all the stories. I like the growth and the struggle and everything that kind of happens with it. It's a little bit different. I don't know the other sports. Like I said, I'm a fan of them, but this one's a little special to my heart.
And where do you play Lamar? Here or there?
Here, yeah. I'm not going to Beaumont twice. There's no way. There's no way, man.
Justin Hill's been our guest for the final segment here. Don't forget, football is on a bye. Homecoming starts next week. Also, volleyball tomorrow night against Lamar, 6:30. Saturday, 1 o'clock against SFA at home. Soccer home tomorrow night against Rio Grande Valley at 7. And then soccer Sunday against Lamar at 1 o'clock. Next week, all the homecoming events. We'll see you next week on the PokeCast.